There's a door here.
I've been in a bunch of IED blasts now. I've been blown up with suicide bombers on 3 occasions, 4 or 5 IED blasts in close proximity, and it took me a long time to get over the fact that the first thing I ever thought was, no, I'm glad it's not me. The A&A commander came up and he was like, yeah, you killed two Taliban commanders. Is that, what do you mean? Is that, yeah, they turned up at the local mosque. They'd been riddled all up the side and on the legs. It's about proximity, a lot of it, isn't it, in the different natures and types. It's like artillery guys and mortar guys don't bat an eyelid. But if you're this close, it's slightly different.
Yeah, I remember 2005, they would line bicycle tires with explosives.
Mm-hmm. When you're dealing with an enemy that's got that mentality, it's so difficult.
Especially when your hands are tied.
Especially when your hands are tied, you know. Before I go into what we're about to say, it's really important for context that people understand why this has happened. About 3 days before that, there was a BBC Panorama documentary making allegations against the regiment for, you know, alleged misconduct in Afghanistan 10 years previous to this.
Lie down!
Why is he honing in on this specific incident?
Because it was one that happened underneath his watch, and it was one that happened 3 days after a BBC interview naming him that he'd been involved in this. That's why.
So, almost a year since coalition troops left Afghanistan, what's the truth?
But on this piece of paper, it says, wanted for investigation, under investigation for murder. Now, I'm at the US Embassy with this sheet, and I have to show this to that lady, at which point they're like, negative, we are not giving you a visa, because it says you're under investigation for murder. They came and arrested me in theatre. They knew and said...
They arrested you in theatre?
They arrested... Wait, yeah. Oh, the plot thickens on that one, yeah. He's got a gun in one hand, and he's got a dog on the other arm, and I just swing round. The worst thing for us, mate, was that every single time an IED went off, Sangin was the epicenter of the Helmand conflict. We lost more troops in Sangin than anywhere else. Urban, it was rural, it was everything in between, and it was dangerous. Really, really dangerous place to be, especially during that time frame. And I can start to hear praying. I can start to hear it, and I'm like, am I losing my mind here? And I've got these peltors, over the ear peltors. So I pop my little thing out, and sure as I can hear this dude praying, and that's never a good sign. He is moving in an aggressive manner, and he is moving tactically, and when I mean tactically, I mean up, down, like soldiers move when they're moving into position.
So he's holding somebody accountable to save his own ass.
100%.
Well, not holding somebody accountable, because there's nothing to be held accountable for.
No, it was not an excessive use of force, and it was professional. Like, there's no other way of saying it. Sending people down the river to save your own skin for your own political and your own personal gain. And I'm not having it.
Has he ever been in a position like this on the ground?
a subjective opinion on what we did, and they basically launched a full investigation into it. They opened up the door.
Why did he pick this, of all the combat, through all SAS? Why is he honing in on this specific incident?